Hello everyone. Good, we're working, so yeah, a bit of a delay on that for me. So let's start. I'll just, just turn the volume down on my phone. There we go. Okay, so nothing has happened on here since last Sunday. I've been out working on a couple of 3-in-1s, Pioneer KT-88-55s, I think they are. And the cassette mechanism is, to say the least, complicated. So some belts arrived, or 200 belts arrived actually, on, I think it was Tuesday or something like that. And yeah, so yes, today I've been working on the car. Still can't get the traction control ABS light to extinguish. Sometimes the airbag light comes on just to play fun and games, but yeah. Okay, so I'll try not to get my head in the way, because I played back last week's live stream and had a look at it, and yeah, there was my big fat head in half the shots. Okay, so this is where we're at with this Toshiba. Yeah, that looks bent for some reason. I don't know why. Can't be. Maybe it is. Actually, it is. I think it's just the plastic bit there. Okay, so that has lost all its stickiness. I think we're about to do the third cap, weren't we? I think. Watch me cut through the dial cord. I can stay on there for a couple of minutes. Take that off at the end. Yeah, so the iron has warmed up. And we'll get our capacitor tester out the way. And the other capacitor was down here. What's the other camera doing? Is that all right? Right. So I'll try and zoom in a bit. It's going to focus on anything but. There we go. Yeah, so the capacitor we're going to change is down there. Now I don't know whether these have an output transformer on them. Maybe that is, or something like that, because that's... in fact, it is. Okay. Now if that is blown, or yeah, how can we test this? So there's a blue wire. There's blue wire there, green wire there coming out of it, black wire there. Yeah, that is going to be pretty hard to test actually. Yeah. I suppose we can test the secondary, and I've left my meter out with the Pioneers. I'm going to, I don't know, got this one. With Fluke. Really must get some better leads for these. After the silicon leads on the Bryman, I think, which is it? This one? Yep. So now we should be able to test it here on the earphone things. That's where it goes to. Well, the secondary is okay. It doesn't beep very loud, that thing. Yeah, there's no sound out of it whatsoever. But then again, the Sony stereo one was the same, wasn't it? And then we put some batteries in it and it fired up straight away. Okay. Now, how am I going to do this? So it's over near the tuning gang. Oh, that's right. We had to take this dial off, didn't we? Had to take this off. And of course everything's out in the kitchen, isn't it? So this little one do it. Now that's glued in. There we go. Now I'll put some tape on the dial drum. Hopefully it won't fly off. This is quite a well, it's not complex, but it's a bit messy. All right, hopefully that'll work. And the Sony drum or cylinder radio, the tuning dial seems to be underneath the top plate. So there's a disc with the tuning ring on it, or the tuning ring has a disc on it, and underneath the disc, aluminium disc, is the screw to pull that disc off. And I don't want to do that because it's going to bend the aluminium plate. No matter how careful I am. I was about to say even use feeler gauges on it, but yeah, we had to go to Repco this morning, or well, midday exactly, and yeah, a set of feeler gauges, $45. Do you believe it? $45 for a set of Chinese feeler gauges. Glad I bought mine 40 years ago. Okay, so it could be that one and one of those, or let's say it would be that one. No, that's that one there, the orange cap. So it'd be up here. Maybe it's these two. Yeah, I think it's these two up here. So, yeah, up there. Right, focus where I want you to focus, not... Yeah. So it'll be these two here. I'm going to remove the solder from. There, I'll get some flux. I have to think about putting the flux back in the fridge because it's quite warm. Yeah, it's 26 degrees or something. And yeah, we're just not used to it. And tomorrow is going to be 13 or something. So half the temperature. Right. Okay. And the top one. Yeah, that's definitely, well, almost 100% sure that is it. And yeah. And that's the other one. Lifting the legs up. So these are all bent over. Okay, well that did that. Right. Now, have we got that one? we got the green cap. It's going to open wide enough just. And of course it's glued in as well, isn't it? These will be wider, yep. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm going to find the mark on it. Okay. So looks like the positive went, well, that's the negative, is it? Can't tell. Where's the other one? Yeah, that's the negative. Okay, so the negative goes towards the transformers. And it is a 10. Got all glue over the numbers, haven't they? I think it's a 10. Maybe not. No, it's a 50. Is it a 50? No, 30. Okay. So 30 at 3 volts. Well, they don't make those anymore, so 33. And I'll go and get some 33s. At 6.3. Yeah. Hi, Chris, if you're still around. Yeah, okay. Rightio. See you tomorrow then. It's really hard to do a live stream and get the timing right. I know that Graham does one on his Radio Cruncher site most Sundays, and he starts at 2 o'clock, but he's in Devon in England, and that equates to, well, if it starts at 2 o'clock, it equates to 10 o'clock, and then today with daylight saving starting, it's going to equate to 11 o'clock, and then when their clocks go back, it's going to equate to midnight. So yeah, so I've just compromised and started this at 4 o'clock for Australian people, but of course most people are out on a Sunday afternoon, so I get most of my views on Monday and Tuesday. But them's the breaks, I guess. And where's the solder for that? May as well do like they do, or they did with this, and just drown it in solder. Alright, so that's that capacitor done. That was easier than I thought it would be, actually. Do the other, oh, that's hot. Still, and I really must get some new wire cutters or angle cutters. Yeah. Right. I ruined a pair of them. Well, El Cheapo pair. Doing the car this morning. They were the ones that came with 3D printer. Now, this is going to go back on. There we go. And our screw. Now, how did the screw come? Washer come off the screw. That's better. Okay, good. So I'll turn the power supply on. Uh, 6 volts at what? 6.1 amps. No, thank you. 6.2 amps. Where did that get there? So 0.5 amps and 0.5. Actually, we'll do that. So that is set for maximum of 50 or 500 milliamps, and not a sausage. Okay, I'll listen very closely. No. Not even a click. Now where did our power come in? So it came in through that. That's negative. And our positive's up there. We'll do that on volts. 6 volts, and that goes down across to that. 6 volts. Right, let's try this switch somehow or another. And so that should be the negative up there. Okay. 6 volts. 6 volts. So does that mean the switch is open, or? Yeah. Send that power through the board. That's switched off. Oh, okay. So what did I do then? So there's something here. Okay. So maybe I shorted that. Oh, okay. So something, okay. So it's the switch. Not contacting. Yeah. So if we have a look, if I can get to focus this close. Okay. Now down here,
something that really got a hold of me, and yes, Scott Fitzgerald, the way that the whole thing is put together in terms of the style of writing, that really inspired me to find a style. There's a lot of books that I have read over time that have had different styles, and finding my style as a writer, so I went to publish. That's okay.
yeah. Okay. Well, that should be an easy fix. Let's have a look at it closely. Yeah. Might be just dirt, actually. Okay. So, yeah, let's untangle these a bit. What can I prop it up with? That'll do. Now, I'll find some what can I use? A bit of this sandpaper. Used to have I had about 20 sheets of this, and now I can only find little bits of it. I haven't used it. I put it somewhere, cleaned up starting to clear up the garage. And I'm losing stuff left, right and centre. I used to have little emery boards. And they were great, but do you think I can find them? Alright, that should have cleaned the contacts. And what I'll do is that's off. Alright, bent that in a bit closer. That's strange. Still not contacting cleanly. Bend this one out a bit. Don't break that off, Andrew.
Don't have a last touch or last position out of bounds, or most other sports you just touch it out of bounds. They have a rule where the opposition gets the ball. We don't. But I don't mind that uniqueness. So just because it doesn't happen elsewhere doesn't mean we have to.
So that it's less random. I mean, have an oval ball, there are random things that happen, and personally, sitting in the crowd, those things add to my enjoyment.
Would help if I take the tape off. Yep.
The NBL was an absolute mess, wasn't it? And we look today, you've got the New Orleans Pelicans.
Gold hoops and the gold cap, and we're just about set. It goes up, last rendezvous. Track looks in fantastic order. Soft 5. A little bit of rain yesterday and this morning. Set. from the inside away fairly. Champagne Cafe got away very fast.
Okay. Well, it doesn't sound very good. Yeah. Pretty bad speaker in it, but yeah, maybe when we get the back on it and reassemble it. So I'll turn the power off. And yeah. So winner winner chicken dinner, as Dave Jones says. Okay. So I'll give this a bit of a clean up. It went that way, didn't it? No, where's the glue? That's, so it went this way. Did it go that way? Yeah, it must have done. No, it went the other way. Cover up the speaker terminals. Yeah. So, now where did that little screw come from? It's a bit of a worry. Hope it's not out of the Sony. Yeah, okay. So we'll try it. I'll just put it sort of semi together, and then I'll have to clean it up, and I'll have to take the screws out to clean it anyway. Right. Now, does it work on batteries? It should do. Now we did, yeah. Right. Well, that'll do for the time being. Or will it? Can I turn the knob?
Maillium 30 at L2, Salty Best 250, 6 Velda, $1.40 and fourth one. Corella $16.80, exacta 27, trifecta returns 92, and the first fall $363. From the 1600, let's get to Coonamunra for the cup.
Him and Apollo Creed, made in Dubai, and also Burgundy Girl and Copperfield. So they're working on County Kilkenny, who's the second favourite. He ran second in this race last year to Louis Legacy. And he's trying to take his earnings up over the $200,000 mark.
Right, well that's really piercing, that sound. Yeah, I don't know quite how to fix that, but yeah. Okay, what I'll do is I'll clear the decks here, and where can I put this where it won't fall apart and get knocked over. That's the battery cover for it. Move that out of the way. Definitely move this back of the stereo one. And this little tiny screw. So that's all off. Now the other one, the Sony CF-550A weighs quite a bit. I think it might have a rechargeable battery in it, a NiCad or something. So we'll have a look at that in a sec. Let's put that up there, we don't need that. That's our screwdriver. Move the tape from there. Right. Actually, just out of curiosity, is this it? We'll do a capacitor bingo on it. Okay. Right. So this is a 30 at 3 volts. Well, the label says that. $192. Wow. Geez, these are really bad capacitors. We had a 100 last week that was 642 or something. Yeah, this one here. So yeah, it's a wonder it worked. Well, it didn't work, did it? Because of the switch, but yeah. Okay, so they can go in the bin. Keep on collecting these silly things, putting them in a jar, and for the customer to see that I've replaced them. And okay, let's get the Sony. It is pretty heavy. Now I picked this up at the tip shop for $1. So zoom backwards, go out. As you can see, it's sort of tallish, if you want to say that. And it's got an oval speaker there on each side, and has another oval speaker down here. Don't know what that is. Maybe it's the antenna. Didn't have screws. It was all taped up. Gee, this is heavy. And around the back, you can see it's really quite interesting. So we've got microphone right, we've got remote, microphone left, we've got line in and mic switch, then we've got line in with RCA plugs and line out with RCA plugs. So I think it actually worked. Yeah, it's on 240, 220. What's that? 120. Yeah, 100. Oh, I see. 100 is one position, 110, 120 is the center, and 220, 240 is the outer position. And okay, so notice that we've got an external antenna there. I think this is from sort of the, not the mid, about 74 or something like that. Might be wrong on that. Might be a bit later. It looks like, oh yeah. So that's the back door for the batteries. And don't know how we're going to get this out. Okay. Now we have the Nike battery pack. And looks very dodgy to me. Doubt this is going to hold anything. Never charge continuously for more than a week. Charging should be done in temperature ranges from 32 to 104 degrees Fahrenheit. Do not attempt to open the battery pack. Warning, may explode if disposed of in fire. Wow. It just look like D cells to me. In fact, D cells do fit in here. So it should be theoretically possible to buy. Actually, I don't know that they sell nickel cadmium batteries anymore. Okay, so we'll put that aside, out of the way. What's it weigh now? It's still very heavy. It's probably got a, yeah, it's got a transform. Well, it has got a transformer in it. We'll see if we can lift this up. Okay. Yeah, it looks like. Yeah, I'll have to take a picture of this, I think. So, yeah, we'll pull those off. Yeah. Okay. So we'll just take a picture there. Try not to pull everything down because the phone is plugged in. Okay. So go back to live stream and just check to make sure. Yeah, okay. Good. So, take this off here, I think. And these two off. That is very tight. This one. Yeah, this one. No. Yep, that one's off. So it's this red one. You can use the pliers, I guess. Not even budging. What's keeping it on? Always something, isn't there? Right. What did I do with that screwdriver? This will do. So I don't want to actually break this off at all. Go. Oh, I see there's corrosion down there. Still not coming off. There we go. Yeah, make a big mess with this tape. Yuck. Okay, we'll put this aside. Yeah, there's the aerial plugs. Must go somewhere on this board. Have to work that out. Now, what have we got under here? This has all been, yeah, hate coming after people who've half done something. Now, where's another little bucket thing? Okay, there's the one over there. Okay. So I'll swap you over to the other camera. Here we go. So all the foam has disintegrated. There's lots down here as well. There's another screw up there. Right. Okay, spaghetti central. I think this is going to be lots of photographs. We've got 3, 6, 9, 12, 18, 20, 22, 24, 30, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, at least 40 connections soldered onto this board. Another 2 down there. Okay. Right. Now, did this work? I do have a 4-point lead for these sort of things. Okay, it's plugged into the other radio. Yeah. Yes, Sony insisted on using these type plugs. And of course they're completely unobtainium. There's Sony thing down there too. I don't know what is that, the amplifier? So is that the way it goes in? Yep. Still very heavy. I think it did work, the radio at least. So let's have a listen. FM radio off. Okay. Yeah. So tone control works. Okay. So it's not working in the left channel. So this is our balance control up here. And just the right channel. And that's the left channel. Normal special tape. That's in stereo mode. It's actually noisier in mono. actually.
Authorities have now issued 3 prepare to leave notices as wildfire conditions continue to deteriorate in Queensland. Here's Emma Johnson with the latest.
More than 70 bushfires are burning across the state and at least 20 fire aircraft are in use or on call. In the southeast, firefighters are still trying to control the blaze on Moreton Island off the coast of Brisbane.
And there is sound coming out of that channel. Just. That's full volume. So it might be just a matter of a dirty connection or...
We really don't want any more fire on the ground for our crews to have to contend with.
Open fires are prohibited from the Gold Coast to Gladstone and in the state's north.
134 guns belonging to sovereign citizens in Western Australia have been seized by police as part of a state... Last week, police spent 5 days conducting search warrants at 70 properties where they believe sovereign citizens live. Police cancelled 21 licences and suspended another 23, with owners subject to a fitness to hold test. Commissioner Blanche, police are monitoring all sovereign citizens in WA.
There's 1,000 people who we can identify as sovereign citizens, but all of the firearm owners who identify as sovereign citizens were encapsulated in.
The former partner of New South Wales Independent MP Mark Latham, charged with sharing intimate images. Natalie Matthews was arrested after disembarking from a flight from Dubai at Sydney Airport today after a warrant was issued while she was overseas. The 38-year-old has been charged with various offences, including intentionally recording and distributing intimate images without consent. She's been involved in an ongoing apprehended violence order with the former One Nation politician after a relationship breakdown last year. She's been refused bail and is...
Oh, how petty.
Drivers
Yeah, it sounds like that volume control's had it.
will write
Okay.
turning off the meter or refusing fares.
Right. Well, definitely needs a bit of work, this thing. Actually, I didn't test the cassette, did I? Now, how do we get that radio off? Oh, geez, that's really... Ooh, there's, yeah, a ton of muck in here. Yeah, and the... Now, does this need the door shut to be... One of the things with the Pioneers, which I discovered, was that you actually needed the door shut to operate it. There's a sort of an interlock in the door mechanism, and of course I have the doors off. And this doesn't look like it's coming off easily. I'm going to break it. Yeah, that is really sluggish. Yeah, okay. Well, that's useful. closing now. All I did was open it. All right. Unplug it. And I guess we'll have to start to take it apart. Now that switch, oh okay, so that switch up there operates this thing down here. So 2 switches. Okay. I wish this door would shut. No. It feels like I'm going to break it if I push it too hard. Oh, what a nuisance. Okay, so we'll spray some stuff in there somehow or another. Yeah, I'm just wondering how this comes off. That's obviously for the blocks of plugs. Oh, I say down there, there's a couple of screws there and there's a couple down there. Okay. So, right, we'll just spray some deoxit into there. Just sprayed in anyway, and hopefully it'll work its way in. Right. Okay. Let's give it some more power.
Calling it a tough season. State of WA couldn't get through the fitness test, has the ice on the right thigh, so no previous as well of the match.
That's oh, okay. No. That's just a bad capacitor somewhere.
Okay, I want to know West Coast got the flu this week because last week
yeah. Okay. Right. Right. Okay. Now, yeah, that's definitely a capacitor somewhere in the amplifier stage, I think. Right, so the first thing I want to do is get that door shut. And I'm hoping I won't have to take everything out. Right, so the first thing we'll do is we'll take this block off here. Take this off here. It's got a clear piece of plastic there to stop things falling in here. Okay. Now, right. This is going to be awkward with the door open. That's that one. Be careful because there's aerial wires here. Right, that's one screw out. There's a fuse down here, 0.25 amp. Well, that hasn't been undone before. So it's probably its first time in 55 years. Right, that's tight. Right. So that should be all the screws. Okay, I've got this other one up here, which is refusing to come out. Yes. That screw is turning. It's not going anywhere. No, it's not turning. Yes, it is. Don't know what's holding that in. No, it's not turning, I don't think. Or is it? I can't tell whether it's turning or not, or whether the screwdriver is, doesn't look like it's turning. The screwdriver is just riding over the top. It looks as though it's turning. This is the shadow. This isn't going to work, is it? No. Okay. Right. Geez, these heavy construction. This is all metal up here, across there, around there. That. There's a lot of metal over here. No wonder it's so heavy. No. This door it's hard to say which. Can't see any spring down there. Alright, what we'll do then is we'll take that screw out and that screw out, and we'll see if that reveals anything. That is super annoying, that one. Just go and have so many wires on it. Can't move it. Or is there another? It looks like there's another screw up the top there. Do that. That reveals that screw. Looks like the board's moving. No screw on there, no screw in there. Where'd that screw go? Oh, I see, it's in the wiring. There it goes. Now, are we going to be able to get the board out? No. Something solid is holding it. Oh no. Something down here. bet you the record lever or something is stopping this board coming out. That's a bit better. I have to watch because there's 2 transistors down here for the output. In fact, they might be holding it down there. See if we can undo this screw. Yep. He freezes up a little bit, but there's still something down here. Ooh, gee, this is nicely made. It's full of Nichicons. Oh, I see, it's hooked into there. Yeah. Wow, there's millions of capacitors on here. Right. Now, this looks like it has to come out for this board to come out. All right. Okay, I'm going to have a bit of a drink. And contemplate this for a second, and I'll go and get a couple more screwdrivers from the kitchen from working on those Pioneers. Okay, I'll be back in a moment. Oops. Is that the camera? Yeah. Okay. So I brought these out of from the kitchen. Now I don't know whether they're just a different profile to the oldie ones. And that is definitely coming out, I think. Is that screwing? Oh, no. Why is everything so tight today? Geez, that's tight. It seems to have moved a little bit. Well, I am turning it a little bit, but not really where it turned it about a quarter of a oh no, is that, yeah, that's the, yeah, that's it now, I think. No, what the devil. Yeah, I've just rounded off the thing. Yeah, it's gone from sort of horizontal to about, yeah, just a little bit past horizontal. Really, that is really tight. And I'm actually chewing up the screwdriver too. I mean, this is a better profile, but you can't grip it. I don't want to bend the bracket or what it's attached to. Yeah, it's not, yeah, it's just bending as I twist it. That is a real bugger. I wonder, I'll be back in a minute. I'm just going to get a pair of pliers from the garage. And is this going to fit down it? No. Okay, we're back in a moment. Okay, I'm back. Just have a sip of the drink. No. No. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. I don't particularly feel like drilling it out. And we can't do anything until we undo that screw. I'll push this over. And get this out. I'm going to break the board. So that'll be the end of this. I can't see how far in this slot it is. Yeah, and it's not going to come out anyway because the frame is against something down here. I don't know. Might have to track down the service manual for this and see how you disassemble it. Maybe this, no, that's not attached. It's attached to that. Yeah, I'll take those two screws out the bottom. I don't think they're going to do very much. Well, they might. So that's one of them. Yeah. It's so annoying that the door doesn't shut. Or maybe, yeah. Okay. No, doesn't get us anywhere actually. Sort of does. Okay. Oh, okay. This doesn't look very promising. Geez, there's a lot of wiring in here and millions of caps. I probably won't be able to show you. This is a big job. Okay, so that's that board out. See if I can turn it around a bit. Wow. This is a nightmare. Really is a nightmare. Sony, what were you thinking? See if I can get you around. Wow. Don't know whether you can see that or not. It's covered in electrolytic caps. As far as the eye can see. That is going to take ages and ages. Right. That's fine. Okay, let's see if we can get to the cassette door. Something there. And that is screwed on top and bottom, down. Oh, I can't get to that screw. And yeah, the belt is falling off, but it's still on. Super loose. Yeah. Yeah, there's this cover here. There's a screw down the bottom, but I don't know at the top. It looks like a board underneath this. Okay, I'll have to go back. Is that better? Yep. Yeah, so there's this plastic cover down in here, which you can just about see. And there's one screw down there, and that covers, I can see the flywheel up here. That's probably all that's on it, you know. Probably isn't any other. There's no tape count or anything like that. There's a spring down there. No. I can't see anything to do with the door. I think the whole cassette mechanism is going to have to come out. Wow. There's big fat spaghetti. There's probably about 20 wires there. And yeah, actually the speakers are not all that big. But there's 4 of them. Yeah, I just can't. see myself doing this on camera, on a live stream at least, because there's just so much, well, so many wires on this board, and it's going to be absolutely tedious to watch me doing all of these capacitors. Yeah. Wonder, so I don't want to take too many screws out. So that one there, and that's attached to the cassette down with a screw sideways in that area down in there. In fact, you can see the screw as I'm pointing to it. So that is not going to be easy to get out. This is the dial mechanism. There's this string. I wonder, actually that can come out easily enough. What a nightmare. Oh, and there's wiring attached to both sides of the board. What were you thinking? That screw up there is definitely going to come out. Yeah, that one up there. Looking at the monitor here. Yeah, that one down there is the troublesome one. Now, if that came out, would we have access to anything else? Not really, but it would mean that I didn't have to unsolder all these wires. And does that look like, yeah, there's another circuit board underneath this. Yeah, and that goes across. And this wiring's all turning to mush. All the oil's coming out of it. So these wires go across to here. So that must be the radio input up there. Yeah. So that is the radio wiring. So we've got 3 wires on that brown wire, oh, that yellow one. Oh, okay. Right. No wonder it was just $1. Okay. So it's 5:45. I think I'll cut this short and try and find a proper service manual for this, and yeah, I'll have to label all the wires up with tape and write on them and take a million photographs and try and get this board out in one piece. I'm just looking down here. Where's the transformer? That's the input there, and then there's wires that go off. Maybe the transformer's under here? The door was shut. Doesn't feel like the transformer's under there. Maybe it's down here. Maybe that's the power supply. No, maybe that is probably the FM module. This is, no, who knows? Yeah, it probably is the FM module down here. So it's got a trimmer cap on it. Anyway, this is the worst piece of equipment I've ever worked on, I think, for access. This may have been one of the first, in fact it was one of the first stereo units. Okay. All right, I'll leave it, and yeah, but I'm going to have to leave this, and I don't want to disassemble it anymore, and certainly don't want to desolder any wires, and I just can't get that screw out easily, so I'm going to have to drill that out. That looks like it's stuck in forever, and yeah, try and get the door shut. It's hitting something down the bottom on the hinge, so I'm just wondering if I can see the hinges. Yeah, I can see something moving down there. Come unhooked from this or something. Oh, I see, yeah. There's something down there. It's behind here. Yeah, this is all going to come out in one great big lump, I think. Holding by the aerial and dial screws, those 3 screws. I wonder, yeah, might try taking those out. And see if we can shut the door at least today. Not going to do anything else to it though. Just going to attempt to shut the door. So I really don't want any plastic bits being broken. Right. Okay. Okay. And that does get us some bit closer. No, something else holding it in place. We've got that. Let's see. Okay. Pull this knob off. Yeah. But the wiring is stopping it. I wonder if that, I'm going to take this screw out and have everything fall apart inside. Really want some Japanese screwdrivers that are bigger profile than the ones I've got, the little tiny jeweler's ones, for doing these sorts of things. You can get away with it with little transistor radios, but something like this, okay, that's loosened it up a bit more. Yeah, that's out. And that has fallen off, unfortunately. Never going to get that back in again. Right. What's stopping it coming down? That's that little light. Yeah. Almost. Just can't see what that is attached to up the top in that corner. There we go. Wow. Okay. Okay. Right, wow. Okay. I still can't find, oh, maybe that, yeah. And it's over the other side, of course, isn't it? It's stopping it. Yeah. This is going to be so hard. Right. Okay. Might go to. No, I won't. I was going to go to the other camera, but you can see where it is now. So this piece of metal, which shields the tuner from the cassette mechanism, and wow, that is absolutely filthy down there, and a whole lot of muck came off of it, and that is really sticky. This here, yuck. I have to do something with that. Yeah, I would think that this board down here is the FM stereo tuner, and this is mostly the AM section. It just looks like it's out of another radio or something like that, that AM section. Although by this stage you think they would be able to integrate it. Really careful with this down here. It is super tight. But you can see the speakers. So we've got one here and one down here. That one is smaller than that one. Thought they were the same size originally. And that does give us a bit more leeway to get into this screw here, which is not plain ball at all. Yeah, that mechanism is really gummy, super gummy. Just wonder if something's not released properly. No, that's fully down. Really can't work out what's stopping it from closing. And there's a spring on this side. And this just seems to be yeah. The eject button doesn't seem to be connected to anything. I mean, it's probably connected to the mechanism which releases all the buttons, but yeah, anyway, I'll say adios and thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you possibly can, and yeah, oh yes, I've also got to remind you that there's also a Patreon page, and there's also a Buy Me a Coffee link in the main description too. Okay, until next time, actually should be okay for next week. I don't know about the following week because we've got meetings, etc. down in Melbourne. Might be down in Melbourne. In fact, I'll be down Thursday and Friday this week, so I should be back from the weekend. Okay, so, geez, my fingers were filthy before, but look at them now. I can't see that on the camera, but yeah, they're a lot dirtier than they were before, even working on the car and everything like that. So anyway, thanks for watching, and yeah, bye. Okay, bye. Good.